Yeah, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our online security forum of 2022. My name is David. I will be your host for today, and my whole team of Softprom is also happy to see you here, so many of you on this occasion. I will give you some short information now, and it will not take too long until we come in our first talk. As you see, there is interpretation available for these talks. It's available for English, Ukrainian, and Russian language. So if you need some translation, just click on the globe icon that you see down on the Zoom menu bar and choose a language you would like to listen to. If you have any additional organizational or technical questions, please ask my team. They are ready to support you also in English, Ukrainian, and Russian. I also would like to welcome our followers on YouTube, our live streamers. You can contact our team also if you use the chat function right next to the video screen. I would like to remind you that in the afternoon, you have the opportunity to talk to the panelists in separate breakout rooms. Please find all details on this on the website of this event or here in chat too. Yeah, at the beginning of each panel talk, you will see a short poll. It's already online now. You can take it if you like to shorten the waiting time. And then in a few minutes, we will start with our first talk, Michelle from CrowdStrike. Thank you. Okay, it's 9 o'clock, and that means that our first talk is about to begin. Michelle from CrowdStrike, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, David, and hello everyone. So Michelle is now talking from CrowdStrike. I am part of the sales engineering team. And during this 30 minutes, we will go throughout a demo about what CrowdStrike can offer. I wish also that we will give you all of those relevant information, and definitely we will be available for any discussion, for any question. So during this session, I will be talking mainly about the platform of CrowdStrike and its capabilities. So CrowdStrike can deliver one platform with different capabilities that is consolidated within a single management console. And we need just one lightweight sensor to be installed all over the environment. So we can protect any environment, whether it is Windows in terms of workstations, servers, Linux servers, Mac within the endpoint aspect, within the physical environment, within the virtual environment, the containers, the cloud. So everything, this is where we can deliver this protection across one lightweight sensor. So initially, when I access the platform, I will get a high-level overview about the threats that are happening within my environment, related to the detection, related to the hashes in terms of detections, the hosts, and also we have what we call the crowd score, which will show me the level of threats in my environment. So whenever this crowd score goes higher, like reaching 100, it means that I am under a severe threat that I need to identify. And also I would be able to see the crowd score over the time. So let's get started with the agent by itself. So as I mentioned, we do have just one lightweight sensor, and I can get it from the sensor download from here. So this sensor that I need is definitely relevant to the operating system. So usually I need to download that sensor to install it within my environment. And when I install that sensor, I don't need a reboot. I don't need a scan. I don't need any kind of signature update because the sensor is signatureless. It works over the indicator of attack and it leverages machine learning. So whenever I have in terms of Windows sensor, this is my sensor that I have to install. Mac operating system, Linux with all of its flavors. So this is what I need to do in terms of installation, in terms of getting that sensor. And of course, I need to rely on any software deployment tool like SCCM, like Manage Engine, like any other tool that I can use to do or to install any software in my environment. Then I need to identify and set my prevention policy. So this is where I need to do over the configuration and where I need to go for the configuration policy. So this is the prevention policy that I will set to provide me with the basic aspect of the agent, which is the next gen AV to do the prevention aspect and to provide me with the visibility, which is the EDR, which is the threat hunting. So whatever I am going to mention now, it is strictly related to the basic function of the platform, talking about the prevent, which is the next gen AV, and talking about the insight, which is the EDR, that will provide me the threat hunting, that will provide me the response, the remediation. So this is all about the basic functions of the platform. So when we talk about fine-tuning, we actually do not have a proper fine-tuning. So we do not ask customers what do they need or what do they use in terms of applications to start excluding them. No, we just set a specific policy that is what we call a recommended policy. This policy will provide us first with the visibility. As I mentioned, this is where we have a full visibility within the endpoint, talking about the visibility from the firmware level, from the operating system level, from the kernel level, operating system users, applications, so nothing is hidden from the agent. So this is where we talk about CrowdStrike, where we talk about an unparalleled visibility, collecting more than 500 event types from endpoints across all operating systems to provide us a real visibility, because simply we cannot protect what we cannot see. And then within the same prevention policy, we have our machine learning. So as I mentioned, we do have our next gen AV and our machine learning. And this is where we have the toggles related to the machine learning to do the detection and the prevention against unknown executables or malicious executables within the environment. And also talking about the sensor anti-malware. So the platform is a SaaS platform. We are a cloud delivered security. But at the same time, the agent by itself can protect the endpoint, even though there is no connection to the cloud or there is no connection to the internet. So this is where we have our sensor anti-malware for offline and online hosts. This is where we are able to detect and to prevent any malicious executable as well. Talking about on write, when we do any sort of download, any sort of copying some of the files. So this is where we will detect and we will quarantine on write whenever we have any malicious executable or DLL being copied. And here we talk about the execution blocking, fileless attacks related to suspicious scripts and commands, registry operation, suspicious processes. And this is where we see majority of today's attacks are fileless. We see like 70% of the attacks are fileless, not related to the traditional aspect of the malware. Exploit mitigation. This is where we need to detect and to prevent any abnormal function of the application. Talking about ransomware, it's all about behavior. So when we talk about CrowdStrike, we talk about a machine learning approach and about an indicator of attack or a behavioral approach. Behavioral approach is mainly a proactive approach. This is where, based on the EDR, based on collecting the telemetry, we analyze, we identify the pattern. And whenever we see any malicious aspect of that pattern, then we will take an immediate action. Such these patterns related to ransomware, where we see any pattern related to backup deletion, file system access, file encryption. These are common aspects of ransomware. So within one IOA, we are able to detect and to prevent different ransomware families, because what we see is a behavior, is a pattern. And this is where we deliver the indicator of attack, and we do not rely on the signature or on the hashes or on anything that is reactive. So we need to be proactive. Talking about the exploit behavior, and this is where it is extremely important, related to web shells, related to drive-by download, to code injection. And this is also where we are able to detect and to prevent lateral movement, credential dumping, credential access. And this is also where we can do the remediation. So very easy in terms of prevention policy to set it to the proper recommended policy. And this is where we can immediately start protecting our environment, installing the agent across all of the environment. The agent can be deployed in a very fast manner. So we really and literally talk about a couple of days to install the agent on thousands of endpoints. So there is no hassle in terms of doing the implementation itself. No need for reboot again, no need for signature update. Very easy to do the installation across thousands of endpoints. And now this is where we are able to have a look into the detection. So whenever we have the detections, and this is where we see in general their severity, of course. So those detections will be identified based on severity, based on tactic, based on technique, the time, the triggering file, and so on. And this is where we can identify the detection in addition to the adversary behind the detection. So when we talk about CrowdStrike, we talk about also an integrated threat intelligence. So we even can identify the threat actor behind the detection itself. So this is where we can identify if in some aspects I don't have any IOC related to a threat actor, then it will be triggered as a normal detection. So if I would highlight on one of those detections, for example, and if I will open this detection, I will be able to see that machine. I will be able to see the detection time, the host name, the type of that machine, the user behind this machine and behind this detection as well. Here we see this is a machine learning detection. So it's not an indicator of attack. So it is a machine learning detection based on a specific hash. And this is where we can identify this hash, which is Revel. So it is a Revel ransomware. And this is where we can see these file details, the user details. And this is where also we are able to see any other AV detection. So we've seen this detection on 58 out of 71 AV engine, and this is from the virus total. And related intelligence, it is related to Sodinokibi. This is related to the ransomware that is also related to Pinchy Spider. This is one of the threat actors that we also track related to the ransomware operation as well. And clicking here within the full detection details, this is where we can identify the processes under which this detection was triggered. So this is where I can see all of the processes running. And then this is where I can identify this revel.exe that was executed from the Explorer. And this is also where we can identify different aspects. And at the same time, when we talk about this pinchy spider, this is where we go to the related intelligence. And this is where we can even see the graph related intelligence. So such a hash within my environment, wherever it happens, so I can get such a graph showing this hash and even on how many machines. So it's not only that machine, even I have other machines that do have the same hash that was detected. And this is related to pinchy spider. So this is how I am even able to have any kind of graphic to visualize what happened. And again, I can take different actions. One of these actions is to network contain. So if I am under a specific threat, I can immediately isolate this endpoint. So this endpoint will not be able to communicate to any other IP except CrowdStrike. Or I can even add other IPs if I want within my environment as well. I can also connect to that machine, connect to host. So hopefully that this machine is still online to show you this case. So this is where I will be able, it's not online, I will show you in a while another example. So this is where I can access the endpoint over what we call real-time response. So this is where I will be able to access the endpoint to take some remediation steps. If I want to kill a process, if I want to delete some files, get some files, send some files, change the registry, and many other actions that I need to take. Another nice example that I would like to show as well is an indicator of attack. So as I said, it's not about only machine learning detection, but it is also about the indicator of attack. So this is here where I will open this full detection, and this is where I will be able to see other processes also happening. So this is a much more complex detection that I can see. And here I can clearly understand, for example, that an email was sent because it was opened from Outlook, and the Firefox was opened, which means it is kind of a phishing email containing a website that is malicious URL. And this is where I am seeing other exploit kits being executed related to Java. And this is also what I can see each and every activity. So here the threat actor from the command line, when they were getting access to that endpoint, again, these detections are detect only just to showcase it. So this is if we were already preventing it, so it was prevented already from the previous actions. However, it is a lab environment. This is also to show how CrowdStrike can have such a deep visibility. So we can identify each and every command. So just who am I? So this is where the threat actor was doing some sort of discovery aspects. So this is where he was getting also the system info. He was getting some ping to some other malicious domain, WMAC-net, and this is how we were able to see each and every step. And this is here, the VSS admin, where the threat actor was here having a volume shadow copy deletion. So this is a ransomware behavior as well. So you can see here how deep CrowdStrike can provide us in terms of visibility, in terms of detection in real time. And also, we will also need to highlight on the CrowdScore incident. So here, at each and every detection, we would have in some situations an incident. So multiple detections, when they are all correlated together, they will form one incident, and each incident has a score. So this also that will help me to have and to start with the most critical incidents. And we can identify also the lateral movement. So here I can see an incident involving 3 hosts. And if I open this incident in a graphical aspect, I would be able to see that it has a lateral movement. It is involving different hosts. And here, if I go to the graph to visualize it, so this is where I would be able to see the threat actor moving laterally between an endpoint and another. And each red dot is actually a detection that I can open it, that I can do a specific investigation as well. So this is where we have in one incident, multiple detections that are correlated all together. So back to the point of the real-time response. So here, I'd like just to showcase one aspect related here to the real-time response. So I will specifically choose an endpoint that is online. So again, I cannot have the real-time response, or I cannot take any action if this endpoint is not online, definitely. So let me here go to my environment, and let me choose one of the recent devices that is last seen. So like this devices, let me check this one. And this is online, and let me connect to the host. So this is here the real-time response under which I will be able to access an endpoint over the shell. So this is where I can take my actions. If I want to have a memory dump, I want to check the running processes, I want to kill a process, I want to delete some files. So any remediation activity that I can take. In addition to this, I can also go to the scripts. Even I can send a PowerShell scripts, and even I can have also my own PowerShell scripts that are available in terms of custom scripts that I can use within my environment. So at any point of time, I can save those scripts so that I will use them whenever it is needed. In addition to this, still we are within the same and the basic aspects. So the investigate is part of the threat hunting. It's part of the EDR. So if you remember, we've seen, for example, behind one detection, a username called demo. And if I would like to search for that demo to identify the actions related to this user, where that user was able to access any detection related to demo. So this is my threat hunting, that I can hunt for a domain, I can hunt for a user, for hash, and different aspects. Still, we are in the basic aspect of CrowdStrike, the EDR and the next-gen AV. So this is here where I can search for the user called demo as an example in my environment. Immediately, I will start getting those results related to the user logon, as demo was able to log on multiple devices, some sort of execution, some sort of discussion of detections, and all of these actions will be triggered. This is my own threat hunting that I can get. So here I can see that unresolved detections, and there are many detections related to demo as a user in my environment. As I said, within the investigate, I can search for hashes, for hosts, for user, for IPs, for domains, and even I can build my own query related to the searches. So this is an unlimited aspect. So here the sky is the limit to really hunt for whatever I need in my environment. And this is a query related to Splunk, as you will see it as well. So because we have the Splunk by the back end of the EDR, and this is where you can even build your own investigations, your own events, and your own detections related even to the scheduled searches as well. So here, this is the events that I can search for within my environment. So here I will be able to see, for example, multiple searches in the history of the searches, and this is what I can do in terms of searching. In addition to that, I can do a scheduled search as well. So instead of searching it manually every now and then, or every day, or every week, well, I can specify a search query so that I will be able to search every hour, every couple of hours, and whatever I want in terms of frequency. So here, as an example, I will be searching for suspicious DNS related to command and control. So here, if you look at it, if I open this search query, I will be, first of all, searching for DNS request for a specific domain like GitHub user content, pastebin, drive.google, whatsoever I can identify. And this is here where I can run this search every 24 hours, or I can run it every hour or so. So this is where I can get a notification about this search as well. We do have a lot of predefined searches like PowerShell Hunt. I would be able to see all of the PowerShell execution within my environment as well. That happened. And even we can provide a score if this PowerShell command is having a risk or no. So this is here where I will be able immediately to see all of the PowerShell activities and command being executed for the last 24 hours. And then I can definitely change the time range. So this is where we will get those aspects. Again, this is related to the EDR. A final point related to the EDR that I would like to share, and for the sake of the time, I need to move for other aspects, is what we have in terms of Falcon Fusion. Falcon Fusion is for free as well, and it comes on top of EDR and next-gen AV. This is where you can build your own playbook. So this is where you can identify any specific detection happening in the environment, and this is where you can identify this playbook. So let me have a look here on the playbook that we have in terms of CrowdStrike. So this is here where we can, for example, have a specific playbook where I can see here some sort of detection. If there is any detection happening, if this detection is having a high or critical severity, then I can get that file. Or I can send an email, I can integrate with email, I can integrate with Slack, with Teams, I can integrate with ServiceNow to open a case. Even I can isolate or quarantine an endpoint. So I can define a playbook if I've got any detection with high severity, for example, or critical related to gaining access. The user behind this detection should be blocked and the device on that detection should be quarantined as well. So this is how we can have this SOAR functionality within CrowdStrike as well. So now moving a little bit beyond the endpoint, beyond the EDR and the next-gen AV, but staying within the endpoint at the same time, we have other modules and other interesting modules that are built on the same agent, that are built within the same platform. One of them is Discover. Discover, it is mainly related to IT hygiene, the same agent that is installed in my environment. And if I have the license of the IT hygiene or Discover, this is where I will be able to get a full visibility for my assets, whether they are managed. I can identify those managed assets, of course, and even I can identify the unmanaged assets where we have devices in my environment without the CrowdStrike agent or the Falcon agent. So this is what I can get in terms of visibility. Also, the unsupported assets. Maybe I have devices that the agent cannot be installed on, related to a firewall, maybe a switch, maybe a camera. So these are the devices within my environment. Another aspect of Discover is getting the account dashboard. So this is where I will get a proper information about all of the accounts in my environment, if they are local account, domain account, successful login, unsuccessful login. And this is where I will get the breakdown of those accounts based on the admin privileges, the username, the password when it was last set. If they've got some sort of failed login, successful login, this is what I will get as well. Application usage. Also within the application usage, I will get a full list of applications in my environment related to the version, related to the vendor of these applications. And this is what I will get. Nothing in terms of additional scanning will be done. No additional agent to be installed within the environment. And a cool and a nice aspect within the endpoint security as well, if I have the IT hygiene or the Falcon Discover, within the detections, I will be able to get what we call asset graph. So as an example here, if I have this detection, I can click here on the asset graph. I need to have the IT hygiene. I need to have the Discover to get this kind of information. So I will get this managed asset in terms of asset graph. So I can get a visualization about this assets, communicating to which devices, which users accessing this device, and this what will be visualized for me. So this is the endpoint in question that we've got a detection, and it will visualize that this device is communicating to 1, 2, 3 other devices. A user called demo, as you remember, is accessing this device. Even I can click on this plus sign and I can see this user demo accessing which other devices as well. So this is what we can get in terms of the Falcon Discover as well. Another function is related to the vulnerabilities, which is Falcon Spotlight. So Falcon Spotlight will show me the vulnerabilities in my environment. Again, within the same agent, without any scan, and also it will provide me in real time the vulnerabilities in my environment. And most importantly, we have also what we call AI or expert rating. So this is where we can provide to the customer, to the security team, the most important vulnerabilities to start patching as well. So this is what we can deliver, because as I said, we are also a threat intel company. We know also what are the vulnerabilities that are now being exploited as well. So here I can get the list of those vulnerabilities, identifying vulnerabilities on Windows, on Linux, and on Mac, and on third-party apps in real time, no additional scan. It's all about the EDR. It's all about the events that were collected to be reanalyzed. And here I will see the list of vulnerabilities. And this is the expert rating. So I have a vulnerability that is high, but in my environment, it is medium. So this will help me to prioritize the patches that I need to start. And of course, I can identify those vulnerabilities on which machines. And this is where I can see here the details within my environment about these vulnerabilities, on which endpoints. And this is also where I can create a ticket by having an integration with Jira or integration with ServiceNow. So this is what we can deliver as well. A FIM capability within the file vintage. So if I am looking into the compliance aspect, if I am looking to monitor my environment in terms of changes for the files, for the folders, for the registries. So this is what I can get, in fact, within CrowdStrike, within the same agent that will be monitoring in my environment those changes that we call the file integrity monitoring. So it will show me the changes. I can set my specific policy to monitor specific folders, specific locations. So this is what I can get. And also, if you remember the Falcon Fusion, the orchestration, this is where I can even have a proper orchestration, a proper SOAR capability. So even when I see any file that is being changed, I can get this file, or I can isolate this machine so I can get more functions as well. So the FIM capability is available within the same agent. And just to end up, one of the very important modules also that we have is the threat intelligence. And this is where we have the actors. So as I said, we are monitoring threat actors. So we are monitoring more than 170 threat actors. It is almost 180 threat actors. We are classifying them between nation-state threat actors, e-crime threat actors related to ransomware, and even we can identify within our environment and correlate. So for example, this threat actor that is related to ransomware. So if I open it here, I would see that I have 114 vulnerabilities, and I have also one sandbox report. And here I can identify the motivation. I can filter them by motivation. I can filter them by target country, target industry, origin, coming from where, recent reporting. So here, if I open this threat actor is related to the e-crime group. I can see that they are last seen by November 2022. And also I can see that we have within their kill chain, and they use specific vulnerabilities. This is the list of vulnerabilities, and automatically, because I have Spotlight, I can identify that I have 114 vulnerabilities related to this threat actor. I can open it here, and immediately it will take me to the Falcon Spotlight. That is my vulnerability management, to see my vulnerabilities automatically. So this is how we can integrate, how we can identify all of these functions between the endpoint, between the threat intelligence, and this is where I can get all of these details. Last point also related to the indicators, we have millions of indicators of compromise. It is in high quality, and this is here what we have. It can be integrated within your SIM, within your SOAR, to augment your detections, and those IOCs are definitely related to the threat actor. We are identifying those hashes, domains, IPs, and others. So this is mainly what we can identify within one platform to provide all of these capabilities that are all natively integrated, and everything is delivered within the same lightweight sensor that is the lightest ever in the industry. This sensor is having a disk space of 40 megabytes. It will consume less than 50 megabytes of memory and less than 1% of CPU. It will never get bigger. It will never get bloated. It has zero impact and performance issues on the endpoints. So I am now on top of my time. I believe this is exactly 30 minutes. So hopefully that this session was really also having lots of information related to you. I will be definitely more than happy to assist if you have further questions as well.
Okay, thank you for your talk, Michel. We indeed have some questions.
Yeah.
Alexei from Uzbekistan is asking, I will read the question. The issue of working with the cloud is very painful. Please tell what happens, how and what information is processed in the cloud console. Is any personal data transferred to the cloud?
Yes, this is extremely important question. And CrowdStrike, as we all know, it is a SaaS platform. We are providing the security from the cloud. So definitely we are 100% compliant. So when we talk about a cloud, so first of all, the communication between the agent and the cloud is encrypted, definitely. The communication is also compressed. But when we talk about the collection, we collect telemetry, we collect events. We do not collect any information related to the organization, to their files, to their users. So it's all about telemetry, events, about process execution, about command lines. So this is 100% compliant. And we are even compliant definitely to GDPR, to PCI DSS, to HIPAA, to many other compliances, to SOC 2 as well. So definitely we are protecting those telemetry, and we do not collect any sort of information, any sort of executable, any sort of data from the environment. And this is where we have lots of customers, banks. We do have, and we are protecting 15 out of the top 20 banks. And we are protecting also from the Fortune 500 companies, we are protecting more than half. So we are 100% compliant, protecting many organizations in different also industries. One other point to add, in addition to the cloud capability of the platform, we can also provide what we call a long-term repository. So the customer as well can keep a copy of these events, of this telemetry on-prem as well. So this will be used for compliance. This will be used to know what are those events that are collected. So this is what we can cover with our Falcon Log Scale that was known previously Humio, that we have already acquired it. So this is where you can keep and store those events, those telemetry for an unlimited period of time to keep it for compliance as well.
Okay, thanks a lot. And another question is about, can I manage actions from external resources, scripts or CMs via an API?
Yes, of course. So we can integrate with SIM, we can integrate with SOAR, we can integrate with also multiple aspects over the API. Our API are open and we have multiple integrations.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot for your talk. And
yeah.
I remind everyone, if you're interested into a more detailed talk, then just book a meeting with Michel over our website.
Yes.
So thanks, Michel.
Welcome.
And
thank you, everyone.
Merci. And our next talk is from Rapid7. Alessandro, are you ready?
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good, then the stage is yours. Enjoy your talk.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna share my screen. Please confirm if you can see it.
Yes, we can see.
Fantastic. So, first of all, again, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining, and thank you, Softprom, for organizing this one. I wanted to spend not so much of your time this morning just to briefly give you an overview of Rapid7, and then in the agenda there will be a demo session like our colleague from CrowdStrike just did from one of our partner in Ukraine, one of our best partner in Ukraine with Rowan. And this just will open the conversation for me regarding what we do with Rapid7. Our mission is, again, securely advanced together. Some of you may know Rapid7 for Metasploit, Nexpose, or inside VM. We actually have 7 solutions in our portfolio. And so the idea is, again, to advance together, securely advance together. Together can have a different meaning. First of all, a platform to help you to advance together in different aspects of your cybersecurity, let's say, efforts. Together with our customer, we pride ourselves to working in partnership because we are learning from them and they are having full support from our side, but also together with our channel. So not only because of Softprom today, but also Roman from Alesta is one of our greatest partner in the region. So he's helping us today in this presentation. Now about Rapid7. We do a bunch of stuff. We have quite a few technologies. We have been named leader in most of them. In some other, we are strong performers, visionaries. I mean, technologies. Technically speaking, we have quite good solutions, best in class, as they say. We have our own security services that will help us. That are helping us today with our customers in some regions where we do our own managed services. They're helping us to understand a little bit more what's going on, what is the trend outside. We have our research and community. We have now even probably nearly 400 platform integration with the existing technology. CrowdStrike is one of them, for example. This is maybe a little bit old slide because now we are over 11,000 customers worldwide. We acquired a few companies. We have quite a few present in a few countries, 21 offices, and we are just, let's say, leader of innovation. So all of these help us throughout the years to develop our platform. This is Rapid7 Insight platform. Each solution has been developed standalone. Each solution has its own team dedicated, and then there's another team dedicated to the platform to integrate this solution, let them work together. So even within Rapid7, all the team are working together so that we can provide a full comprehensive platform covering probably 359 degrees of the cybersecurity. So you will see now we're going to go through all the solution. I will not spend so much time on all the solution, but definitely it will be worth mentioning some of them, especially for those who are not probably up to date in terms of news from Rapid7. Again, as regards our research, we are absolutely proud of our research. You may know Metasploit. We acquired the solution in the project, the Metasploit project, with H.D. Moore, the creator of Metasploit, in 2007, if I recall correctly. We then developed the commercial solution. H.D. Moore became our chief research officer before FBI took him away and let him work with them. We developed our vulnerability database, Attacker KB, which is not only a database for vulnerabilities for Rapid7 itself, but also from all the other research and all the other open source project. For example, Velociraptor. Velociraptor is a new acquisition for digital forensic endpoint response, which is the basic for lots of EDR vendors, for example, lots of other CM solution. We have now this project. We are implementing all the capabilities from Velociraptor into our agents to keep, as long as Velociraptor is developing, we are developing our capabilities together with the community of Velociraptor. Then we have Project Sonar, which is an internet-wide scan. So we scan the global internet to understand the trends. And then another interesting one is Project Heisenberg. I will deep dive a little bit more into these projects together with our CM solution moving forward in the presentation. But Project Heisenberg basically is, I think, 100, 200 honeypots spread around the world, and with honey users, honey files, honey credentials, and so no one knows where they are. So thanks to Project Heisenberg, for example, in 2017, we were able to understand that something was going really bad in the industry, and then it came out it was a WannaCry. We managed, thanks to our Project Heisenberg, we managed to inform our customer, and so they were able to kind of protect themselves or remediate somehow or to reduce somehow the risk without even knowing what kind of risk was, because WannaCry was not still officially exposed as a WannaCry. The idea for Rapid7 with this platform is not to destroy or disrupt your technology stack, but it's actually helping you to use the technology to fully secure your environment. The idea is that we want to help our customers to keep their business moving forward, and not to give them the headache or saying, oh my God, I need another solution, I need to study something else, and this solution is not getting as many vendors outside there. We have open APIs secured by Rapid7, nothing you need to worry about, but they are free, available, and you can absolutely build your own integration unless they are already built in. Going into solutions and services, again, the platform is the great advantage of the platform is that, first of all, we have the endpoint agent, which is on a platform level. So one single agent can do different tasks depending on the solution that you are deciding to use in the platform. Being cloud-based, it is really easy to scale up, and so it's gonna help you to cover the environment that today are getting bigger and bigger. It's really important for the customer to keep, let's say, the same pace that you have with your growing environment. We are seeing now a huge migration towards the cloud, so there are lots of assets there in the cloud. Some of them are hard to configure, some of them are hard to secure and to control. So with cloud solutions nowadays, we are able to, let's say, have fast computing activities, and so we need to have some fast solution that are going to provide you immediate visibility, real-time visibility of what is going on. Now, again, this is a little bit of the platform. I'm not going to spend too much time on probably on vulnerability management, as most of you already know, but Inside VM was born from Nexpose back in 2004, and then we moved to the cloud, adding additional features and modules within the solution, cloud-based features and solutions. So basically, like every other VM vendor, what we are doing is, of course, scanning, giving some prioritization, then remediate and give some reporting. Now, the difference is that everyone is doing the same scan. The difference, some key differentiator will be in the prioritization. They usually say Italians do it better, and I am Italian, but in this case, I would say that the Americans did it better with the real risk score. So rather than focusing only on the industrial standard, the CVSS, today version 3, we also have our real risk score, which is a millimetric and so more granular score that goes for 1 to 1,000. What is considered in this real risk score in the algorithm is not only the CVSS, but also the age of the vulnerability and the easiness of exploiting it. So let's say if myself, Alessandro, I can exploit the vulnerabilities and I can just switch on and off my laptop and send a few emails, that's all I can do. But well, guys, you are in a really bad situation with the vulnerability. Even though the vulnerability can be not so critical for the CVSS score, we can tell you that, my friend, that is really, really critical if Alessandro can exploit it. And then, of course, you have the remediations. You have step by step, so you can work on your risk management throughout all your environment. All the remediation steps will give you a specific time frame to remediate those vulnerabilities. We have some smart reporting helping you to remediate fast, like top 25 remediation, which will probably affect the majority of the assets in terms of criticality. So this will reduce your risk quite drastically, as long as, of course, you follow the steps, or if these steps are compliant to your internal policies. And then, of course, the reporting. Reporting can be absolutely boring and technical for the majority of the engineers, or can be absolutely, I wouldn't say funny, but definitely interesting for the executive with some executive reports template, where, okay, you can see throughout the time how you are going towards your, let's say, vulnerability. Of course, if you have some internal policies of your internal KPIs or your internal risk level agreements that you have internally in your company. As regard application security, we have a dedicated solution, which is a DAST solution, Dynamic Application Security Testing. It's more or less the same of Inside VM, but for applications. The only difference is that with the Inside AppSec, we are kind of pen testing with more than 100 attack templates. We are kind of pen testing your solution. The solution is either in development or is up and running. we are going to attack the solution with 100 templates, whatever is the solution, whatever is the language the solution has been written, with whatever is the code. We are just going to use the technology called the universal translator, which is basically an understanding of the solution from a JSON perspective, so that we can attack from a JSON perspective and then tell you where the vulnerability is. Not from a code perspective, not from a static perspective, again, from a dynamic perspective. This is a new solution. We acquired this company in 2020. Last year, we developed a few stuff inside this solution. Inside CloudSec is let's say still a part of the risk assessment, if you want, environment for your cloud assets. With this solution, today you have probably you have the cloud providers, Azure, Amazon, Microsoft, Google. They are giving you some tools to secure your assets. These tools work mainly with the cloud assets that they are providing themselves, but they don't really understand the internal policies. Most of the company nowadays, they have multi-cloud environment for whatever is the reason. Also for example, from application developing. And their solutions, sometimes they don't understand, they don't go deep into the internal policies. With our solution, CloudSec, you can go much deeper in terms of customization, in terms of setting up the solution for internal policies. So, for example, if an Azure asset should behave in a certain way, but based on your internal policies, these assets should behave in another way, you can customize these if you want compliance check. Now, part of the solution is also the container security. Together, this solution comes with let's say it's a product of it's a result of two solutions, which is the cloud security posture management solution together with the Kubernetes security. We put them together. So especially now that all the applications are being developed on mainly in containers, so containers are pure cloud, you need to secure those containers and those applications. This will help you, this solution will help you to fully CI/CD lifecycle security integration to work with your containers and your applications. Now, especially the cloud is helping us, as we were saying at the beginning, is helping all of us to move quite fast and forward. If you need to work on something in your internal network, you will probably use some coding rather than buying some machines in the cloud to test something new. So when you will prepare your code, you have an infrastructure as a code analysis within this solution, which is going to help you. Okay, you're going in the right direction, or you need to fix this, and that based on your internal policies, or let's say the playbook as the playbook should suggest. And then you have a cloud identity and access management for this solution. So you can, it's only on a cloud level. So all the users, every kind of users connecting to your cloud machine, you have the identity and access management for these assets. So it's really important to understand if you are really secure or not. Now, this is where we're going to focus today. We started in 2013 with the user behavior analytics, user and entity behavior analytics. We pioneered the market with the other 3 or 4 vendors. And so we basically started to have user behavior analytics before anyone else. Then we acquired the log management, and we found ourselves in having a CM solution, which is not a traditional CM solution. So we didn't focus on IT, but more on security. And then after a few years, we started developing the network sensors, file integrity monitoring. And basically what we find out is that we basically fell into the definition of XDR. And so our solution is nowadays a proper XDR solution. Because again, not only we do some EDR, I mean, not like our colleague from CrowdStrike, they are an EDR vendor, they are really focused, they have an amazing solution. What we do is we focus on what is going on between the endpoints. and not on the specific endpoints in terms of the capabilities of CrowdStrike. But definitely what we can do also ourselves, our file integrity monitoring, which is something that is, especially today, is really important. Classic CM and log analysis, of course, for some research and alerts and remediation. But then again, network traffic analysis. So basically, we are providing a little SOC, let's say, for your internal use with our network traffic analysis. So not only intrusion detection system, but we go also for enhanced network traffic analysis, which is a flow data analysis within your network. We don't want to make anything heavy and slow. So basically, with our network sensors, we are going to mirror your traffic and then send all the data to the cloud. What else? User identity behavior analytics. Now we'll jump on threat intelligence, which is our new solution. But staying on this slide, we have, of course, also attacker behavior analytics, which is really important, not only using Metasploit and so working with the community, but also with our customer, but also with threat intelligence. All the information we are getting for the clear, deep, and dark web are being fed into our attacker behavior analytics module. So, for example, we had 100 attack templates, attacker behavior analytics, let's say, templates. And now, thanks to our threat intelligence research in the clear, the deep, and dark web, we have more than 500, 480, or maybe attack templates for attacker behavior analytics. So it's really important. And then you have, of course, some automated actions. So, the team can work, the SOC analyst can work easily and comfortably with some automation, even though we have our own source solution, again, being developed standalone, but commercially we are offering our SOAR as unlimited with our CM solution, completely unlimited in terms of workflows, users, and so basically you can automatize unlimited tasks, not only with your CM, but also with your VM solution, for example. Then Threat Command, again, this is a new acquisition from last year. We are absolutely happy with this solution. It's exactly what we were missing. So until last year, we were focusing on what's inside our environment, getting some information with some research, still really good from the outside. But we decided to go and start looking really into the attacker environment. So basically, we acquired this solution, and now we are integrating this solution. There are quite a few modules with this solution, and Roman will show them later. But just to give you some information in terms of how we integrate all this solution together. So again, security advanced together, and again, the concept of together with threat intelligence. What we are doing is we have a module for threat command. It is called threat command, which is basically a threat intelligence tailored on our customer based on their assets, and by assets we mean the branded entity, domain, VIP protection. And with that information, we can check within the clear, deep, and dark web what's going on out there. What we do also with the clear, deep, and dark web, we are trying to understand where the attacker or what the attacker is going to do about a specific vulnerability. So we have the so-called vulnerability risk analyzer. This vulnerability risk analyzer is already enriching, let's say, the information we have within our inside VM solution, so the vulnerability management solution. So we are getting more context around the vulnerabilities that we find out there in the clear, deep, and dark web. And then the interesting part of this threat intelligence solution is that it's technically automatized, and every time you need to take action, I don't know, take down a website rather than a social media profile, or if we find that there has been some data leaked and they are selling your data in the clear, deep, and dark web, you can purchase back your solution with the credits in the clear, deep, and dark web. How does it work? Really easy. Roman will show you. There's a ask analyst button, which is basically a chat that is connected within the solution, is connected directly with an analyst, and they will answer immediately. They will take action. Usually can take up to 2 hours. If something is more complex, they will let you know what would be the next step, and we'll ask your permission to go and do some other activities if it's something really complex. So basically, you have all the advantage of an automated solution working for you, and also the ask analysis always of a click of a button away from you. You just need to ask, and in the chat you will have a human interaction. It will not be a chatbot. So basically, with the threat intelligence, again, you can go into clear, deep, and dark web, work on the brand protection, VIP protection. For example, is really useful for the banks when they have some exposed assets, or we can find some credit cards exposed, like credit cards numbers, security codes, and let's say the classic PIN exposed. So we can find all this data. You will actually find all this data. And you will see also the source where this data has been found. Another interesting part is the threat intelligence platform. So again, using, for example, the example of CrowdStrike, we have a native integration with the CrowdStrike, and we can get all the IOCs from them if you use them. So again, we don't want to disrupt your technology stack. We get all the IOCs in terms of compromise from CrowdStrike, from their knowledge, together with our knowledge, and then you will have a broader vision of what's going on. And then, last but not the least, our source solution, which is super easy to use. It's like plug and play. You don't have to code anything. You can if you want, but you don't have to code anything. We have quite a big team working behind that. We have 400 plugins and script that has been already developed by Rapid7, and you can easily play with all these automated workflows. There are automation for lots of other technologies, not only our solutions, but we definitely focus also on our CM solution, our VM solution, which is basically what is really important today. Let's say it's a must-have solutions, CM and VM, for every customer. And then last but not the least, our managed services. This is again not something that we usually propose in my region, honestly, because basically in some region we focus more on managed services, but thanks to these managed services, we are able to collect information, put them on a platform level, so every customer that has access to our solutions will have the same information, same intelligence, because it will be shared in real time, basically. So if one customer of ours is gonna have, some kind of malicious activity never seen before, we can always inform the customer with whatever is the way. It can be an email, rather than if we figure out that there's an actual vulnerability. Since we can define vulnerabilities, we will be able to inform you about the vulnerability, the new vulnerability, and then you can double check on the same vulnerability. So we are pretty much happy to work together with our customer. Now, next session would be with Roman. I don't know if you have some questions before we are going to hand it over to Roman, who's going to showcase our CM solution and threat command solution.
Yes, thanks a lot, Alessandro.
Okay.
We have indeed one question, which maybe Roman can answer also. It's again about Uzbekistan and your Nexpose solution.
Yes.
Without the cloud, so on premise. What are the options for scanning infrastructure from outside without involving cloud resources of the vendor?
Well, technically speaking, probably the most convenient, economically, the most convenient solution would be to deploy let's say to use a server outside your environment, deploy a scan engine. You have unlimited scan engine with our solution, and I will just install one of our scan engine from outside your network, and then scan your network itself. So technically speaking, it will be an external scanning and probably non-authenticated scanning. And I guess that the question is also, related to PCI DSS compliance, for example, for the banks. So you can absolutely use our Nexpose on-premise solution with that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Можно к вопросу Александра, ну, с технической стороны, я могу немножко дополнить Александра. Очень часто используется несколько scan-engine. То есть если обратить внимание на лицензирование Next, это единственное решение, у которого количество scan-engine не ограничено ничем. То есть вы можете разворачивать их сколько угодно, где угодно. Очень часто используется для сканирования внешних адресов, если мы разворачиваем scan-engine и Nextcloud в разных географических площадках одной компании. Просто что внешние адреса одной площадки мы сканируем с другой, для которой они, по сути, внешние. И это позволяет нам сканировать внешние адреса без разворачивания scan-engine в дополнительных площадках или в облачных сервисах, или используя облачные ресурсы вендора.
Okay, thank you very much, Roman, for the explanation. And maybe if there comes some other questions, maybe you can answer it during your next session, during the use case. Or if anyone is interested into more details, it's easy to book a meeting with you just on the this side on the chat screen. Yeah, you're available in the afternoon for more talks.
Okay.
So then on with the show. Roman, it's yours.
Спасибо, Дэвид. Здравствуйте, господа. Меня зовут Роман. Надеюсь, меня всем хорошо слышно. Я сейчас начну показ своего экрана.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Спасибо. Окей. Сегодня мы с вами поговорим в основном о решении Insight EDR и также о решении Threat Command, который я вам покажу, как это, собственно, выглядит, как работает, из чего состоит и что можно добиться, используя это решение. Это всем интереснее результат. И поэтому начну с самого начала, как это выглядит. То есть для того, чтобы воспользоваться каким-то из решений Rapid7, нам нужно в первую очередь попасть на платформу Insight, которая, по сути, является средством управления всеми решениями от Rapid7, или же большинством решений от Rapid7. Вы выбираете нужный вам инструмент, которым вы хотите воспользоваться. В нашем случае это Insight EDR, и у вас открывается нужный вам. Insight EDR – это решение, которое многие могут воспринять как CM, но на самом деле нет. Функционал CM – это большая часть решения, это очень важная часть решения, но помимо работы с логами, работы с инцидентами, есть дополнительные возможности, которые, по сути, превращают Insight EDR в SOC. Да? Небольшой, персональный для компании, но это, по сути, SOC, который может выявлять сложные угрозы, который может выявлять направленные атаки, который полностью анализирует поведение пользователей, сопоставляя сущности, найденной в инфраструктуре, с реальными людьми. Я дальше покажу конкретнее, что я имею в виду. И также в решении IDR дополнительно доступны возможности deception технологий. У нас есть разные типы honeypot для разных целей. Есть возможности пассивного анализа трафика, есть возможности автоматизации, автоматического реагирования на обнаруженные угрозы. Ну, начнем по порядку. Чтобы получить доступ к данным, мы заходим на Insight платформу, и первое, что мы там видим, это сводную информацию о нашей инфраструктуре. Insight EDR может реагировать собирать данные по геолокации пользователей, анализирует риск пользователей, найденных в инфраструктуре. Вы видите все алерты, которые вы сгенерировали с помощью решения, и все события, которые были обработаны решением. То есть в моей небольшой лаборатории, по сути, обрабатывается около 2 миллионов событий в сутки. Что, в принципе, для обработки классическим наземным SIEM нужны достаточно мощные ресурсы, но в случае с Insight IDR ресурсов этих требуется очень немного, потому что вся аналитика находится на Insight платформе. На земле у нас развернуты только компоненты, которые обеспечивают сбор данных. Это агенты, это коллекторы, это ханипоты, оркестраторы и коллекторы. И эти компоненты позволяют нам собирать события. Да, чтобы решение заработало, да, нам нужно в первую очередь поднять один из коллекторов и обеспечить сбор данных этим коллектором. В нашем случае, чтобы получить первую уже важную информацию, нам потребуется два источника данных, которые являются, по сути, корневыми, да, то есть это основными для того, чтобы мы могли получить информацию о пользователе. Это Active Directory. Active Directory позволит нам сопоставлять активности, которые делают пользователи на доменных рабочих станциях, с активностью там, на фаерволе, на прокси-сервере. Это все вы можете подключить к IDR и собирать данные с этих источников. С VPN-концентраторов, с прокси-серверов, с облачных сервисов, с антивирусов. То есть эти все источники могут быть обработаны, и с них на основе данных с этих источников мы можем получить информацию. И как только мы подключим первые наши источники, например, Active Directory и Office 365, как пример, мы сразу же получим информацию о том, кто когда пользуется нашими сервисами, откуда он логинится, на каком компьютере он пользуется сервисами, какие процессы запускают в случае, если мы используем агенты. И этот массив, объем информации позволяет нам выявлять угрозы, которые преследуют наших пользователей. Агенты, я о них остановлюсь подробнее. Это одно из преимуществ решения Insight IDR. Почему? Потому что агенты, они являются универсальными. Если вы используете агент с несколькими решениями от Rapid7, вам не нужно вставить несколько типов агента, несколько расширений, дополнительные какие-то компоненты на рабочей станции, чтобы агент работал с разными продуктами. Что я имею в виду? Если агент работает с Insight IDR, он работает одновременно с Insight VM, сканером уязвимости. То есть если агент собирает данные с рабочей станции для системы, запущенные процессы, сетевые коммуникации, журнал событий Windows, он также собирает информацию об уязвимости. То есть этот агент, по сути, универсальный. Когда мы устанавливаем один из агентов для работы с Insight IDR, он точно так же предоставляет информацию для сканера уязвимости. И за счет общего агента оба решения могут обмениваться информацией между собой. И за счет того, что Insight IDR может собирать данные с множества источников, мы можем сопоставлять информацию с выявленных инцидентов с уязвимостями, которые присутствуют на рабочей станции. Как пример, если firewall заметил трафик, который подпадает под индикаторы компрометации уязвимости, которую агент нашел на рабочей станции, то это будет однозначно риск, да, который нужно срочно устранить. И в этом случае вы можете либо работать с инцидентами через Insight IDR, про типы инцидентов я расскажу подробнее чуть дальше. Либо же автоматизированно устранить инцидент. Вы можете либо же изолировать хост, либо заблокировать пользователя, завершить процесс, который генерирует трафик. Либо же все это делать другими удобными для вас системами. То есть вы можете синтегрировать Insight ID с Carbon Black, с SCCM. И это позволит вам максимально быстро устранить угрозу, которую выявил EDR. Касательно угроз, которые могут быть выявлены с помощью решения. Довольно-таки большой список. И из наших главных преимуществ это все работает из коробки. Вам достаточно получить максимально возможное число источников, которые вы можете. Из обязательных это домен и агенты. По сути, после того, как эти два источника будут подключены, решение уже начинает работать. И чем больше вы подключите, тем больше данных у системы будет для анализа, для выявления скрытых и направленных угроз. Если вы подключите firewall, мы будем видеть сетевой трафик. Если вы подключите веб-гейтвей, мы будем видеть расширенную аналитику по URL-фильтрации, мы будем видеть трафик после инспекции SSL. Если вы подключите антивирус, мы будем коррелировать информацию, сопоставлять сработки антивируса с трафиком на фаерволе, с активностью в облачных сервисах. Кстати, облачные сервисы – это тоже преимущество Rapid7 Insight EDR, потому что он тоже из коробки позволяет собирать информацию с самых популярных облачных сервисов, которые нам дают как Software as a Service, Office 365, так и Infrastructure as a Service, Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, там, где вы можете развернуть инфраструктуру. И выявление угроз, оно очень гибкое. Да? То есть, во-первых, у вас есть преднастроенные шаблоны данных, которые преднастроенные шаблоны угроз, которые вы можете настроить под себя. То есть вы можете указать, по каким сработкам создавать расследования, по каким, какие игнорировать, уровень критичности этих сработок. И здесь довольно-таки большой список. Каждая из этих сработок привязывается к матрице атак Митра. Когда вы видите сработки по вашей инфраструктуре, вы видите, какую технику из матрицы атак использует злоумышленник. Вы можете создавать собственные сработки и модифицировать существующие. Если вам нужно добавить какое-то исключение, вы можете это сделать непосредственно на этапе расследования, когда вы выявили, что эта активность доброкачественная, и вы можете ее разрешить. Вы можете создавать собственные алерты, да, которые позволят нам реагировать на те угрозы, которые вы считаете важными для себя. Алерты базируются на логах, которые вы собрали, и вы можете, по сути, собирать логи не только с тех источников, которые преднастроены. Можете анализировать все, что может отправить на коллектор syslog. Вы можете анализировать все, что может складировать логи в директорию или забирать с помощью API. И из хорошего, если мы посмотрим, как лог-файлы нам попадают в чистом виде, Rapid7 их превращает в человекочитаемый вид. Когда мы смотрим на логи через Log Search, через наш инструмент, который мы используем для анализа активности, мы можем выбирать разные представления этой информации. Мы можем видеть ее в виде сырых логов, Сейчас он загрузится, я вам покажу. Seven автоматически разбирает их, нормализует в табличный вид. Здесь огромное количество правил корреляции, и как бонус вы можете настраивать свои правила корреляции для новых источников, либо же, если вы хотите как-то по-другому разбирать этот лог, вы можете модифицировать разбор событий так, как вы считаете нужным. И Rapid7 дает огромные возможности по визуализации событий. Вы можете все данные, которые прилетают вам в EDR, вы можете визуализировать, строить графики, считать значения, использовать функции для визуализации, для того, чтобы видеть максимальную информацию, ту, которую вы хотите получить. И вы можете комбинировать данные с разных источников. Например, если вы хотите анализировать сетевой трафик, вы можете одновременно создавать правила корреляции, вы можете одновременно создавать алерты и визуализации для разных типов событий. Например, Firewall Activity, DNS Query Activity и, например, Web Proxy. И все эти данные будут помещены в единую таблицу, которая позволит нам работать с ними как с единым массивом. Работать с данными, фильтровать, срабатывать на угрозы и автоматизировать устранение выявленных угроз. Это очень полезно и экономит огромное количество времени, которое можно тратить, используя на какие активности. Собственно, если мы хотим разобрать какие-то новые источники событий, мы в любой момент можем создать новый parsing rule или новый, например, alert. Если я создам какой-то фильтр, например, destination IP, представим на секунду, что этот IP-адрес несет нам какую-то угрозу. Мы можем автоматически в дальнейшем на эту угрозу реагировать. Любое событие, которое вы рассматриваете как угроза, вы его можете получать, только оно произойдет, из любого источника. Вы можете визуализировать это как дашборд, вы можете настроить уведомления, вы можете настроить реакцию. Визуализация – это довольно важная часть работы с угрозами, это довольно важная часть выявления аномалий в трафике. То есть если мы видим, что происходит, это позволяет нам реагировать. То есть любую собранную информацию мы можем визуализировать. Кроме сбора и такого вот ручного анализа, как я говорил, у нас есть огромное количество detection рулов, есть огромное количество моделей поведения злоумышленника. Rapid7 Insight EDR отличается тем, что у нас есть не только user behavioral analytics, а еще и attacker behavioral analytics, потому что компания Rapid7, она понимает, как работает злоумышленник, она понимает, какими инструментами злоумышленник пользуется. У компании Rapid7 есть Street Common. Это, по сути, огромнейшая база данных, индикаторов компрометации, огромная база данных, методик выполнения атак. И в Insight EDR есть бесшовная интеграция с этим решением. То есть мы видим сработки, которые относятся к определенным группировкам злоумышленников, сработки, которые относятся к разным стадиям атаки микро. И также есть возможность подружать дополнительные фиды. У нас это называется community trees. Это те фиды, которыми делятся пользователи Inside EDR. Вы с помощью этой возможности можете создавать свои собственные фиды. Вы можете делать их как приватными, так и публичными для того, чтобы, если вы не хотите делиться этой информацией с другими пользователями, но вы настраиваете здесь те индикаторы компрометации, которые хотите выявлять. И во всех собранных данных, да, то есть в случае с агентами это будет информация с агентов, запущенные процессы, кэши файлов, сетевой трафик. В случае с фаерволом это могут быть IP-адреса, урлы. Как только в каком-то из источников событий будет обнаружен индикатор компрометации, у вас автоматически сразу же будет сработка, и вы можете сразу же автоматически настроить автоматическое устранение этой угрозы. То есть в моем случае, например, настроено несколько правил, которые автоматически, например, обогащают данные инцидента с внешних источников, либо же у меня стоит также автоматическая блокировка доменных учетных записей, если выявлен брутфорс. Этих автоматизаций здесь огромное количество. Вы можете создавать свои триггера, вы можете создавать собственные плейбуки по автоматизации с помощью Insight Connect. Да, то есть это тоже решение Rapid7, которое может быть включено в решение Insight EDR, если вы выбираете определенные схемы лицензирования. И это позволяет нам добавить полноценный SOAR к нашему соку. Потому что Deception там, например, уже есть, сбор логов есть, сбор логов с эндпоинтов есть, сбор логов с облачных сервисов есть. И когда мы уже всю эту информацию собираем и обрабатываем, например, мы знаем, какие у нас пользователи, откуда они логинятся, у кого какие есть уязвимости, у кого запущены уникальные процессы, кто из пользователей какими веб-приложениями пользуется, на каких ассетах запущены какие процессы, какие уязвимости на каких устройствах есть. Да, то есть вся информация есть в Insight EDR, у нас есть возможность анализа, есть возможность drill down, проваливаться в каждой из этих сущностей и видеть всю активность, которая происходила в нашей инфраструктуре. В каких машинах было подключение к серверу, на какие машинки этот сервер подключался потом, какие пользователи этим сервером пользуются, какие процессы запущены, уязвимости найдены, какие имена резолвятся, приложения используются, какими IP-адресам подключаются, когда, сколько. И мы можем на любую возникшую ситуацию в этой инфраструктуре среагировать с помощью единого решения, с помощью единого интерфейса, с помощью единой логики. Нам не нужно знать огромное количество решений для разных задач, потому что все это собрано в едином SOC out the box. И когда у нас возникла какая-то ситуация, которую можно рассматривать как инцидент, мы сразу видим все сущности, которые в этом инциденте участвуют. Да? Мы видим, если была посещена подозрительная ссылка, мы можем видеть, кто ее посетил, да, какую ссылку он посетил. Мы видим доказательства этой активности, на каких логах, на основе каких логов это было выявлено. Мы видим историю этой угрозы, как часто она возникала. Вчера я по подозрительным ссылкам специально походил, чтобы у нас были инциденты, которые я могу вам показать. И кроме непосредственно инцидента, мы видим дополнительную информацию. Например, какие еще угрозы безопасности были связаны с этим пользователем. Да? То есть, например, кроме подозрительных ссылок, я пытался использовать honey аккаунт. Да? То есть honey аккаунт – это одна из deception технологий, которая использует аккаунты, которые фактически не имеют никаких прав в инфраструктуре. Но если кто-то ими логинится, да, значит, нас целенаправленно пытаются брутфорсить, да, либо же подобрать учетную запись. То есть если у вас в инфраструктуре нету встроенных администраторов ни на одной машине, но вы хотите видеть реальные попытки брутфорса, то вы можете зарегистрировать администратора как honey аккаунт, и в случае, если на какой-то из узлов в инфраструктуре будет выполнена попытка входа с помощью пользователя-администратора, вас сразу же Insight EDR об этом уведомит. И это один из deception. Кроме honey юзеров, у нас есть возможность использовать honey файлы. Я сейчас его найду. Вот, например, мой коллега обратился на файловую шару, где лежит документ, который называется password.txt. На самом деле в этом документе паролей никаких нет. Туда можно положить любые данные, которые вы хотите. Это могут быть фейковые пароли на самом деле. И как только агент увидит обращение к этому файлу по сети, либо же интерактивно с компьютера, на котором он лежит, то он сразу же об этом ругнется, что кто-то пытается собирать данные об угрозах вашей инфраструктуре. Okay. Кроме deception, у нас есть разные этапы, разные категории сработки. Вы видите, сейчас в моей инфраструктуре были сработки по повышению привилегий, высокорискованная админская активность. То есть одному из аккаунтов были повышены привилегии до доменного администратора. Посещение подозрительной ссылки. Запуск PowerShell с аргументами командной строки, которые свидетельствуют о вредоносности скрипта. То есть агенты выслеживают абсолютно все активности. По сути, этот агент реализует функционал EDR. Это EDR может быть не такой детальный, как другие решения, потому что это часть Insight EDR, часть User Behavior Analytics Solution, CDM-системы, как вам удобнее называть, либо же SOC. Но мы видим абсолютно все обращения процессов к реестру, мы видим обращения процессов к сети. Мы можем в этой информации искать и выявлять совпадения с индикаторами компрометации, которые свидетельствуют об угрозе. То есть, где бы не был запущен вредоносный контент, если на этом хосте есть агент, он этот контент увидит. То есть это очень полезно, если вы хотите эшелонировать безопасность эндпоинтов, и кроме антивирусной защиты, вы хотите, чтобы было еще какое-то решение, которое страхует этот антивирус, дает вам уверенность в том, что антивирус блокирует все угрозы. То есть если вы можете использовать любое антивирусное решение совместно с агентом EDR, они не конфликтуют, но если антивирусное решение что-то пропустит, об этом обязательно сообщит Insight EDR. И кроме этого, если EDR увидел какую-то угрозу, мы можем сделать take action. Да, мы можем этот процесс как автоматизировать, так и сделать вручную. Например, я хочу изолировать этот. Я могу изолировать его через стороннее какое-то решение, например, Carbon Black, либо же с помощью самого агента. Я могу убить, например, подозрительный процесс, либо поместить хост в карантин. После помещения хоста в карантин никакая сетевая угроза не может быть распространена с помощью этого компьютера, либо же сервера, и будет заблокирован. Кроме этого, мы видим подозрительные аутентификации. Мы видим, например, если наш сотрудник подключится из нескольких стран в течение короткого промежутка времени, например, подключится к Office 365, мы это увидим, мы это заблокируем. Если, например, мой коллега одновременно подключался к Office 365 из Франции и из Украины в течение 20 минут. То есть, естественно, это вызывает вопросы, SIEM сразу же на это реагирует, и мы можем автоматически, либо же вручную на эту угрозу среагировать. И самое, что ни на есть важное, что весь этот функционал начинает работать из коробки. То есть вы можете полностью аналогичную систему собрать из других решений. То есть вы можете использовать другой Deception, вы можете использовать другой SIEM, вы можете использовать другой EDR, вы можете использовать другую автоматизацию, другой SAR. Но чтобы разнородную систему заставить работу, это долгий процесс интеграции, это долгий процесс внедрения, долгий процесс планирования. А если вы используете Insight IDR, это, по сути, в первые же дни решение покажет результат. То есть если на хостах, где вы устанавливаете агенты, есть вредоносные файлы, он их покажет. Если на firewall, через firewall происходит подозрительная активность, он ее покажет. Если у вас есть сотрудники, которые делят между собой аккаунты, он это покажет. Потому что к каждой сущности мы привязываем все, что мы нашли в инфраструктуре, и показываем, кто из живых людей пользуется каким-то элементом инфраструктуры. То есть, например, Insight IDR точно знает, что учетную запись LabAdmin, обезличенную, в свойствах которой нет ни одного упоминания обо мне, как Роман разумеет. Но Insight IDR точно знает на основе активности со всех источников данных, что LabAdmin использую в большинстве случаев я. И это позволяет нам персонализировать активность. Если кто-то использовал что-то с помощью аккаунта администратор, root, SA, какого-либо другого безличного аккаунта, с помощью Insight IDR мы сможем выяснить, кто из живых людей сделал ту или иную активность. Окей. Это что касаемо Insight IDR. Если у вас есть вопросы, я постараюсь на них ответить. А если нет, я перехожу к TI. И что такое TI? TI – это дополнительная аналитическая платформа, которая позволяет выявить все упоминания об ваших ассетах. Ассет в этом случае имеется в виду что-либо из вашей инфраструктуры. Это может быть относящие непосредственно к IT-инфраструктуре, как IP-адреса, доменные имена, так и не относящиеся к IT. Например, учетные записи в LinkedIn, название брендов, название продуктов. То есть вот эти вот ассеты, если они упоминаются где-то в мире в негативном ключе, либо же на хакерском форуме, либо же как что-то, что можно скачать, купить, да, или то, что была утечка, связанная с этими ассетами, и Street Command позволяет нам выявить это и совершить устранение этой угрозы. Очень важно обратить внимание, что поиск данных, относящихся к утечкам, он происходит как в ClearWeb. ClearWeb имеется в виду общедоступный свободный интернет. Это социальные сети, мессенджеры, сайты, там, Twitter, Facebook и тому подобное. С целью поиска компрометирующей информации, фишинговых сайтов, любой другой информации об инфраструктуре и Dark Web. То есть если вы используете TI, TI ищет за вас информацию о вашей инфраструктуре в Dark Web. Почему это важно? Потому что Dark Web – это место очень специфическое. И если вы хотите с кем-то початиться на форуме зловредном по обмену, например, сворованной информацией, либо же там по купле-продаже утекших данных, обычного человека туда, скорее всего, не пустят. Потому что на этих форумах, на этих рынках данных очень высокий вес имеет репутация того, кто туда пишет. И за Street Command стоит большая команда аналитиков, которые каждый день участвуют в этих переписках, каждый день доказывают, что они одни из них, одни из злоумышленников, на самом деле это не так. И каждая из учетных записей на этих форумах, которые принадлежит аналитической команде Rapid7, имеют очень большую репутацию на этих зловредных форумах. То есть это такие вот агенты под прикрытием, которые позволяют ботам и живым аналитикам TI искать информацию, связанную с вашей компанией. Да, то есть вот мы, например, зайдем в Asset Management, и сюда мы можем указать все, что нам важно. Наши бренд-имена, да, наши названия компаний, наши индикаторы, метки, там, DLP, как вариант, который мы используем, наши логин-пейджи на сервисе, чтобы TI мог сравнить фишинговую страничку, если он ее найдет, с реальной страничкой входа. И когда Street Command найдет упоминание о вас, например, в Dark Web, что ваша информация продается, то вы можете автоматически через это решение совершить некую ремедиацию. В случае, если это ClearWeb, если это просто, например, фишинговая страничка была опубликована к вашей страничке входа, вы можете через Street Command отправить запрос на закрытие этой странички. Например, хостинг-провайдеру. Или если фейковая страничка в соцсетях, в соцсети отправить запрос на удаление аккаунта. Здесь важно, что компания Rapid7 – это security-компания, которая имеет большой авторитет в сообществе безопасности, и поэтому запросы, которые будут отправлены аналитиками Rapid7, они будут обработаны достаточно быстро. Если взять из примера, то есть вот фишинговую страничку rapid7.com закрыли за один день, да, после обращения через Street Command. То есть Street Command выявил эту страничку, он создал нам уведомление, что выявлена фишинговая страничка. Мы прямо отсюда делаем remediation и аналитики компании Rapid7 обращаются к хостинг-провайдеру и закрывают эту страничку. Кроме этого, если вы хотите узнать более подробную информацию, кто эту страничку в принципе сформировал, запустил, у нас есть возможность проведения investigation. Да, очень похоже на Мальтега, очень похоже на аналитику Вирустотова. То есть мы видим все взаимосвязи между угрозами выявленными и, например, группировками, да, злоумышленников. То есть мы видим, что фишинговая страничка rapid7.com была опубликована на этом IP-адресе. Этот IP-адрес используется группировкой Mustang Pan. Да, и здесь мы можем увидеть абсолютно всю информацию о этой группировке. Мы можем видеть все используемые ими техники. Мы можем почитать их историю. Мы видим все индикаторы компрометации, хэши, урлы, домены, которые они используют. И мы это все можем как автоматизованно с помощью API, с помощью коннекшенов, так и вручную эти все индикаторы компрометации переносить в наши системы защиты. Фаерволы, CM, EDR, это все мы можем, на все можем реагировать, все можем блокировать. На любую угрозу мы можем отвечать. Мы видим уязвимости, которые они используют, техники, митры, которые они используют. То есть полный анализ возможного продолжения этой фишинговой странички, потому что это, скорее всего, было просто начало атаки. И мы его на ранних стадиях можем обнаружить, можем устранить начальную активность и можем предотвратить продолжение развития этой ситуации с помощью
Roman,
вот этой вот аналитики.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt here. We have reached the end of your slot, and so that we don't get into
Thank
so
you,
that we
David.
don't lose our schedule.
I'm already finished.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm already finished. Let me just say goodbye. И спасибо, господа. Если у вас есть вопросы остались, вы можете их задавать. Я постараюсь на них все ответить. Спасибо за внимание. Всего хорошего. Надеюсь, вам было интересно.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. We'll have now a short break of maximum 5 minutes. We'll be back at 10:45 with Imperva.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Всем до свидания.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone. I hope it was enough time to get some coffee or another refreshment. Our next speaker is Alexander from Imperva. And yeah, I think he's ready to start. If so, then please go on. Thank you. We cannot hear you, Alexander. You have to unmute yourself, please.
Very good day, everyone. I hope you can see me. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can also see a slide I'm showing.
Yes, we see and hear everything now.
Excellent. Thank you very much for inviting us to this excellent event. I hope everyone is enjoying. We will definitely make sure that the next hour will be interesting for you. Let me introduce myself. My name is Alexander Kroshkin. I'm with Imperva for 4.5 years already. I'm a sales engineer, and I'm working in Central and Eastern Europe, helping our customers and also partners get the most out of Imperva solutions. And what I would like to cover today in the next 25 to 30 minutes is our solution, which is allowing our customers to protect what is the most important for them, which is their data. And we even call data crown jewels, and we call data crown jewels by intention, because data today is one of the most precious and most important assets for us as individuals, but most importantly for the organizations, because for the organization, for a company you work with, data is about who the company is, why the company is successful. All the know-how is stored somewhere in the company, who the company works with, and partners, whether it is stored in a structured way, in databases, warehouses, mainframes, or in an unstructured way, which is, files, file shares. And I guess every one of you can, remember those examples of, Excel files, which are like, 200, 350 megabytes, because in every company, Excel seems to be the best business intelligence tool. So what we do in Imperva, we help identify who store the data, how you work with the data, how the data is being accessed, who has got access to that data from where, and what does that mean for you as a company, and how you can efficiently control that access, monitor it for audit purposes if necessary, if you are obliged to it by certain standards, and obviously control access to that data and eventually block access if that is also necessary. I've got literally 2 or 3 slides just to get you familiar to what data security is. And I'm going to show probably my last slide for today, and then I will switch to the infrastructure, which I'm currently showing to you, to show how it actually works and those advantages to your benefit. So what we have got on that slide, which I believe is important, and I can spend an hour easily on that slide. We don't have too much time today, but let me just describe. Imperva has been on a data security market for nearly 20 years. We have got lots of experience. And when I joined the company nearly 5 years ago, our solution was primarily based in a data center in on-premise environments. So in on-premise environments, what we do with the data which you have got in your company, which you store and process, we would usually install an agent on a database. And obviously, if you have like 100 database servers, we'll just install and gradually roll out agents on 100 database servers. And once we install the agent, we have all the visibility about everything going on the database server, whether it is a network connection, so I'm as a company employee connecting to the database server remotely, or a database administrator will connect to the console of the database server and perform some actions directly from the console. Everything is visible. We call it that 360-degree view. So you have got all the audit entries, all the activity, and you can easily say who had access to particular data, in a particular day, particular time, or if, internal or external audit will ask you, what Alexander has been doing on September 2nd between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. You have all the audit entries and you can easily show that and prove all the activities. Now, that is fairly easy in on-prem, environments, in your data centers. But what we see today is that more and more customers are embracing public cloud, and they are starting to explore all the different platforms like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, you name them, there are many of them. And obviously, if you look at the database as a service, because that's the greatest advantage of public cloud as far as the data is concerned, because you pay for the service and how it is being maintained underneath, like how many servers are there, are they clustered, what is high availability? That is not your concern. That is the concern of the cloud vendor, right? Now, with this concept, if you use database as a service and you do not have access to the underlying operating system, obviously there is no possibility of installing an agent. And that is why we came up with a so-called agentless solution. So today in our data security platform, we offer you a choice. You can use agent-based or you can use agentless solution. And in agentless solution, which is obviously, the way cloud is built is the one we are using in public cloud, but it can be used anywhere. It can also be used on-prem. So with agentless, we do not install any single piece of software on the database servers, on the databases, on services you're running. What we do, we are leveraging the natural capabilities which are provided by each and every database vendor, which are called native audit or native logging, so that you will enable native logging on the database service, and then we will grab and store all those entries, whether they are collected in agentless mode or in agent-based mode, in our central repository. And this central repository, we call a Data Security Fabric Hub. This is where all the data is stored. You can crunch this data, you can look at this data, you can analyze the data, you can build reports, you can have that data for audit purposes. You can store it for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever the requirement is to store that data in your organization, and it is available there. And no matter where the data comes from, it may come from SQLs, Oracles, Mongo, Dynamo, RDS, we will, what we call normalize the data, and we will show you all the audits from all the different platforms. And you can imagine today there are tens of different database platforms, if not hundreds already. We'll show them to you in a unified way. And you can search, you can report on that. You can also build analytics and workflows and run playbooks in the very same way, and you interact with it the same way, no matter where it comes from. And this is what we call a 360-degree view. It is a completely, hybrid environment, so that no matter where you, process and store the data in your data center, in your 5 data centers, in a data center of your partner, in a public cloud, we will show you the 360-degree view of all the access, all the data, where it lives, who has got access to it, from where, how do they access it, what kind of information they get, and ability to control that data and eventually block access if that is required. So with this very short introduction, let me just connect directly to this very Data Security Fabric Hub, which we see here in the center of the screen. and just, yeah, take a look at just a couple of the capabilities in the next, 10-15 minutes and see, what kind of advantages does it bring. I will also leave 5 minutes at the end of the talk, so that if you have any questions, I will be very happy to address them. Now, with that, let me just switch to my browser, because the interface of Data Security Fabric Hub of our central repository it is web-based. So let me just switch to my browser. And this is exactly the interface. I hope you can see it. David, if you can just confirm that you see my browser.
Yes, we can see your browser, but we have a problem with your audio. So maybe if you can switch off your video, then your audio will be more stable. Seems you have an upstream weakness. Okay.
I'm truly sorry for that.
Yeah.
Was it like interrupting?
I think it's better now. It
Okay.
was kind of strange, it's how it sounds if it's
I truly apologize.
updated.
I hope it is getting better.
I think it's
now.
better now, yes.
And if it is getting worse, just let me know. I also have got a headset. I can switch to a headset, and I also have a backup connection. I can quickly also switch to a backup connection if it is required.
I think now it seems to work.
Great, excellent. Thank you very much for this tip.
Thank
So here we have our Data Security Fabric Hub interface. And the reason I'm bringing it to you is just to prove that what I have just shown to you about the importance of the data and about supporting all the hybrid environments is that, as you can see here, and by the way, we are using so-called Kibana interface. So all of you guys who are familiar with Kibana, you will find this in the interface very, very familiar. So, all the resources which are covered by our solution. This is the infrastructure we maintain in Imperva. It's available, for quite some time already, and we use it also for, demonstration purposes like today. So you can see here that we are actually collecting data, and we are monitoring access to data across many different environments. And even when you look at the top environments, they include, Azure resources, they include AWS resources, they include Snowflake, they include Imperva, the on-premise environments, which are monitored by database activity monitoring. And the interface is very dynamic. So you see certain charts. If you want to go and look at only AWS environments, you can just click on that, and the whole interface will just refresh, concentrating and showing you only the resources out of AWS, or for instance, GCP. And then you can go and you can scroll down, and you actually see all the assets, all the data repositories which we have got connected currently to our environment. So you can see here that some of them live in AWS, some of them live in Azure, some of them live on-prem, and so on and so forth. So it is truly a hybrid environment that we support with our data security solution. No matter where you process your data, where you store your data, we've got you covered. Now, when we have all these resources, so that we can help you discover, scan, identify data repositories which you have got in your different environments, we can then switch to data activity monitoring, and in data activity monitoring, we can go to Discover. And in Discover, we have got all the meat, which means basically all the audit entries. And I'm currently viewing the audit entries, all the logs collected from last 30 days from all of the environments, which we have seen, on-premise, different clouds, and so on and so forth. We can easily and quickly change this time frame to, for instance, 90 days. So there is a call, you see it is currently active, working on it. There is a call to an underlying database. The environment is very quick. So in the last 90 days, the last quarter, I've got nearly 36 million audit entries from all the data repositories which we are monitoring here, access to. And yeah, all of them are here. So for instance, this is the audit entry from today. And yeah, if I just open it, I've got all the information. So I've got the client IP, I've got asset ID. In this particular example, it is Microsoft SQL Server 2019. I've got all the additional parameters. I've got the original SQL, and I've got the source. So all of this information is at my fingertips. And yeah, I can also use all of the available filters. So you can see here that the filters and the fields which we can use in filters are already pre-populated. This is one of the benefits of Kibana interface, which we are using. So for instance, I can go and choose a username. Top 5 usernames are already pre-populated. I can, populate the top 20 values from usernames. And yeah, I just can select any of them. Yeah, for instance, this one, Pathik, and when I click plus, it is just being added to the filter. So now the system is working. There is a call to a database, and instead of 36 million, I will just be presented with 736,000 entries in last 90 days, which were made by this particular user. And whenever you filter information, the fields which you use in a filter, they are shown in yellow color. Obviously, you can further adjust your search. You can also build a report out of the search. You can go into, like, for instance, a database name, and we see that this particular user, he only worked with one particular data repository, which is a Postgres, because all 100% of his activity is actually on this Postgres. So that is how the system works. It allows you to monitor access to all of the data across all the different environments. And the second thing which I wanted to show you is that we do have very strong analytics capabilities. And the reason why it is important is that obviously, working with customers across like last 5-10 years, we have seen that amount of data is growing exponentially. But if you look at, the IT teams, IT security teams with our organizations, the companies we work for, customers, they are not growing. So that basically means that you guys have, more tasks to do. And even looking at, these sources, it is physically not possible to analyze all of the entries, even like from the last week, and spot, malicious behaviors, like, has there been any activity which might potentially lead to, to a data leak, to data exfiltration. Like if in 1 week I've got like more than 2.5 million entries, like how on earth can I analyze that? And this is where our data risk analytics capabilities kick in. And if you allow me, I will just switch to a different tab to show you the analytics dashboard. And it is very helpful in crunching all of this information, which we collect from all the data sources, analyzing it. So you can see here that I've got plenty of database events analyzed. They are, they are counted in millions. And we have customers who have got like millions of entries from all the different sources on a daily basis. And after analyzing all of these events, I'm presented with 41 issues. And obviously, it is much easier for me to go through 41 issues instead of millions of single entries. And I see here some some data already, like most severe issues. I can look into particular users if I recognize them. Obviously, this photo that comes through the integration with Active Directory. Sources they work from, destinations, like what are the top destinations targeted in my organization. And even better, out of those 41 issues, we are able to categorize them, and there are 15 critical. So instead of going through millions of different entries, I start my day with a cup of coffee and looking into 15 critical issues. I go there and I see all of them here listed. And you see the score, the highest the score, the more important it is. The 100 is the most critical one. and they are sorted here by criticality. You see 100 and then 98, 95, and so on. So this is the most critical one. There's one incident. On this particular issue, there are 3 attempts. Here, there are 2 attempts. But let's start. They all grouped, under one issue. That's very, very, very helpful. So let's start with the first one, the most critical one with 100 score. Let's take a look. What is happening here? And I would like to draw your attention that the whole interface, if you see it, it is written in a plain language. And what I mean by that is that you don't have to be a database administrator to understand what is written here and what is going on, what is happening. So if you are, an IT security specialist, a SOC specialist, maybe you are from the management, maybe you are a CISO responsible for overall, security in the organization. And if, you attend a management meeting and someone asks, so what is the state of security? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? Are we targeted? You can just use this tool. So what we see here is that user John Hydorn attempted to access an abnormally high number of different databases, 30 of them, over a short period of time, less than 1 minute. So this is where analytics helps us. Analytics identifies those suspicious behaviors and give us the red flag. And those red flags, they allow us, to improve our security posture from reactive, just looking at events which happened in past and fulfilling, audit purposes, to proactive, so that I immediately see what is happening. And if I see some malicious behavior, I can just stop it and prevent this malicious behavior from making any kind of damage to my data and to my company reputation overall, maybe. So this is John. This is the computer he's using, and these are all the different resources which he tried to access. It was just one attempt. It is listed here. If there would be more attempts, they will all be here under one incident. So let's take a look. We go there and we see this exactly information. We can even look at why analytics engine identified this as a critical incident. What influenced the severity? Well, basically there are 2 important identifiers. The user has access to a very high number of different databases, and at the same time, he failed to log into many of them. And if you look at his typical behavior, this is an information technology contractor. So basically, this is an IT guy. As a contractor, he is not even working, with our company. He's working, with one of our partners probably. And as an IT guy, he's not supposed to look into databases, but probably something happened, and he tried to look into those databases. And we've got all the information, all the details, the time frame, destination, and obviously, depending on whether you use DNS services or not, you can see, IP address here, or the host name, the database name, the DB user he tried to use, and obviously the result of the action. Fortunately, he was not able to access any important data. And just one of the examples how you can quickly identify the suspicious behaviors. I may also use another example here in high priority database service account abuse. This is also a very good example because, as you may have experienced, the way applications are built today is that they use a multi-tier approach. So that in front of a database there is usually an application server. And so application server will just establish a connection to a database server using a so-called service account, so that the connection is established, and then it will just direct all the different users' requests through this connection, so that the database server does not have to open and close connections and keep busy with that. So what we see here in this particular example is that user Mariam, using this Windows 7 machine with this address, she tried, and this is an interactive, and system actually identifies very accurately whether it is a human or whether it is a machine. So the interactive user, Mariam, logged into the database using a service account system. So she did not use her own user credentials. She used the credentials of the service account system. And obviously we have all the details. We can click on it. We can take a look what influenced the severity of this incident. Well, this user has never or rarely used this device account in the past, so this service account. So obviously, people shall not be. I mean, people are not supposed to use service accounts. Yeah, the tables access seem to hold applicative or sensitive data, and this is also, the help we provide when we discover where you have the data. We can also look at this data and tell you, okay, look, out of 100 database servers or repositories, in like 30 or 50 of them, these particular ones, you have sensitive data, your customer data, addresses, all the other important information, and you can specify, important policies to control access. Yeah, this is how it works, and it allows you to be very proactive and see exactly what is happening with the data. And yeah, just to finish my conversation, the last bit which I wanted to show you is that obviously in this interface, in this one single pane of glass, you also have got those incidents, and even better, if you look at these threats, they are all listed here as well, maybe not as beautifully presented with photos and so on, but they are also available. And even more, next to each and every incident, there is an action button. So we can see here that there is a DRA dashboard. Maybe I will just show quickly from last 30 days. So the screen will refresh. Just a second. So I'm about to finish and look into any potential questions you have asked. So in last 30 days, I've got 6 incidents, and yeah, I can see the time frame when they happened. They actually happened in one particular day. They are all listed here, exactly the same incidents that we have seen, suspicious application, data access, excessive file logins, and so on. But what I wanted to show is that next to each one, you have got a playbook. So when you identify this and you see, and this is suspicious behavior, you can take an immediate action. And the system comes with playbooks out of the box. Playbooks are completely open, like many things in our system. You can build your own playbooks, so you can lock user so that they do not have access to these resources anymore. You can dynamically update all the policies, or this last example of the playbook is just integration with different systems you already use in your organization. In this particular example, it is a load balancer. So we can send a request to a load balancer. Hey, we don't want this guy anymore. Just whenever he comes with a request, just block him on a load balancer. So that's the power of Imperva Data Security, which supports any kind of data source you are running at any place, whether on-prem or in cloud, and it gives you all the 360-degree view at all the activities, and you can monitor and secure access to the data of your company. I'm finished with that. I will take a look at the questions. I see one in Q&A. The issue of working with the cloud is very painful. Please tell me what happens, how, and what information is processed in the cloud console. Is any personal data transferred to the cloud? Thank you very much, Alexei, for bringing this question. The interface which I'm showing here, the Data Security Hub, this is the software we provide. It is installed on a Red Hat server, and you can place this server anywhere. You can install it in your data center, so all the information, all these activities, they live in your data center. They can collect information from data sources which are running anywhere, but all this information can be stored in your data center. It can be basically stored anywhere where you can, spin up, a Unix machine. So yeah, this gives you, all the, capabilities and possibilities to fulfill any needs you have got in your organization. You can just have it anywhere. David, I don't see any other questions.
Me neither, and I think you answered everything during your presentation, or maybe your colleague you will show even more.
Sure, of
Bartolome.
course. Yeah, thank you very
Please.
much, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day today and in the next days. And in case of any additional questions, comments, yeah, feel free to get back in touch with us. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Alexander. Okay, Bartolome.
Yes, do you hear me?
Are you? Yes, we can hear you. And
Okay, let's start my part. Just a second. I need to blur my screen. Just a second. Some small issue.
no problem. In the meantime, I remind everyone who wants to book a meeting with one of the vendors that we had today or in the next days, it's possible via the link that you can find in the chat window or on the website of this event.
Okay, now it should works. Do you see my screen or?
Yes, I see your PowerPoint.
Okay,
can hear
but presenter view or normal?
No, the normal view.
Okay, super. Then maybe small introduction from my side. My name is Bartłomiej Wodziński. My responsibility is I'm account executive in Imperva. I'm on board more than roughly 6 years now. And my territory, my responsibility is to cover the sales part of the Imperva and customer needs. Territory is the Eastern Europe, CIS countries, Adriatics and Baltics. Then under my responsibility is more than 27 countries now. And one of the most important market is the CIS region because it's growing rapidly and we have a lot of nice product there. Okay, Alex from our side covered the part of the data security. If we look into history, how the Imperva is progressing with the product, 5-6 years ago, we're talking about the DAM, database activity monitoring. We talked about the WAF, web application firewall. We start discussion about the cloud and the different solution to the migration to the cloud and help to the customers take the journey to the cloud. But it was the separate view, like 2-3 legs for Imperva. Now, our behavior is completely different. We are talking about the data protection. We are talking about the application protection, exactly application delivery and the business continuity in this case. And we are talking about the artificial intelligence, which is the top of the our product, as Alex showed you, the Sonar DRA part of the data security fabric. The same we have on the application part, because Imperva start the journey to security 20 years ago with application protection. Then we create this market. The Shlomo, who is established the company, was the visionary who started this kind of application protection. And for your understanding, we look at vulnerabilities and the issues with the application. Example, one of the first SQL injection. This kind of the potential attack is now on the market 20 years. Then it's still valid and it's still how to say that some issue for the customers because application looks like everyone from your side know how the application is developing. The application needs to be very fast, very user friendly, and the time for developing is very limited. Example, the guys from the business coming to the developers, we need the new version of application. You have 2 or 3 weeks to develop the new functionality. But from the security reason and from the security part, it's impossible to check whole code vulnerabilities and what is included in application, how the application looks like, how the application is working in this short part of the period when the security team have to analyze this application. Then application looks like. Sometimes they are very poor, sometimes they are very good, but still developers using some source code, open source, some ready part of the code, which is the fully of the issues like Log4j and different kind of the vulnerabilities. Then if we look how Imperva can help you with the journey and the future opportunity with your business, this is the part of application protection, including API security, because it's one of the hot topics regarding the security of application and data, and of course what Alex presents, data protection when your diamonds are storage in the data. But if we look how, then couple of minutes, hopefully it will work. Okay, then I see you see my presentation mode, not the. Give me the second. I need to switch the screens in this case. Then you see my normal presentation or presentation mode.
We see the presentation mode, so we see your slide
Then
and
I
your,
think
and now it's now it's perfect.
Okay, then it's everything is okay. Okay, in this short movie was presented what we exactly are delivered to the market at how our company is what is delivered, and in the more than 2.5 minutes you see how its landscape is big. Then if we're talking about the Imperva product, then and how we can cover the needs from the customer side, we have a lot of things and a lot of ideas and potential opportunity which we can address. Example, only in application API protection, we have a web application firewalls. Then is also we can implement in the couple of waves, because we have on-prem firewalls, web application firewalls, like appliances or virtual appliances in customer infrastructure. We have also the cloud application protection, web application firewall in the cloud. Previous name it was the Incapsula. Then we can very fast deploy the security for the customers. Example, we have a couple of implementation during the situation in Ukraine. The war was start in the February. Then a lot of customers from Ukraine was under attack, and DDoS attack and application attack from Russia side. Then we onboard them like a couple of hours, minutes, days, and protect them till today. Example about the DDoS. Then one of the biggest problem what we see now on the market is the DDoS attacks. In the DDoS also from the layer 2 and layer 3 or layer 7 DDoS. Because if we talk about the application protection, then one of the most important value for the customer is when application is working and served to the customers. If it will be successful, the denial of service attack will be successful, the application will not work. Then doesn't matter how secure this application it is, customer cannot use it. Then one of the biggest issue and the opportunity for us is to protect our customers by DDoS. And as I said, layer 2, layer 3, infrastructure DDoS. And of course, application layer also is protected, but our DDoS. The same regarding the application protection, one of the most important regarding how the application working and is available or not is the bot protection. And regarding the bot protection, we are not talking about the black and white situation when we can block the bad bots, all bots, or we can allow the all bots. Our solution is names is the advanced bot protection, when we can manage which bot and how they are touching our infrastructure, application infrastructure. Then example, if we are insurance company, we want to share some content to the crawlers to be in the independent third-party web page with compare the price for the insurance for the cars, health, and etc. Then we allow this bot to take some information from our infrastructure, from our application, to serve on the independent places. And the same like a Google crawlers, we want to be on the one of the first page when the customers is typing something in the web browser. If we block all this automated traffic, we will not allow to manage it. Then our idea with Imperva is to manage the bots, not only to cut the automated traffic. And the next one on the list is API security. Then everyone who is responsible for application know how the API is now the modern, what is the big opportunity for the customers from the business perspective use the API. We are connecting our application to the different application via this interface. Then it's a lot of traffic is going there, but still couple of months, years ago, no one wants to protect this kind of the place in the organization. Now, the lot of attacks, successful attacks for application is dedicated to API. Then Imperva have special components, special products for protection the API security, protection API by our product. And of course, is integrated to the whole landscape regarding the application protection. The next one is the client-side protection. This is something what we can share to the customers, our customers, and customers can protect their own customers by this component. Runtime application self-protection. This is what is unique for vendors who are serving the WAF, web application and application protection. What is the runtime application? Runtime protection. This is the special product when we are install like an applet in the part of the application. It's working in runtime. Then using, of course, the artificial intelligence and something what is the names by Imperva Langsec. There's a from the sales perspective, I can share like a zero, and then if it's something like that, putting to the logging area, then it can be some kind of the example SQL injection. Then we are working directly on the application server, and our product is running in runtime. Then doesn't matter where the application is, we are protecting this application from the existing vulnerability and potential vulnerability in future. Good things and very unique things is for this component is it's not using any positive model or negative model. It's working by self, learning by self, and protect application on the stretch. Then example, our customers was protected when customers using runtime application self-protection, RASP, was protected, like example for Log4j. It wasn't needed to add nothing to the protection layer. Even the firewalls and the different security solutions wasn't protecting protected customers about this vulnerability. Then if you are using runtime self-protection, you are buying the time. Example, what I shared like a couple of minutes ago, and the guys from the business development coming to the developers and asking them for the new feature for the application. The guys from the developers team create this feature, and the application is ready to the market. Why? Because we can add the runtime on the pre-production, and this kind of the protection will work with the application on the beginning. Then you have a time to monitor the code, to prepare some pen test, and try to hardenize the code in the future. But application can be shared to the market in the same time, without potential risk. Is some vulnerability will be there. Of course, the data security fabric is the second part of our landscape and our huge division of the products when we are protecting your assets from the data side. And of course, our solutions are ready to the cloud, and we can protect any application, any data, and if you are migrating to the cloud, it doesn't matter. This what we see is very important for the customers in our region, because they are maybe not fully want to migrate, because the situation now is more to the hybrid model, supporting hybrid model, and the risk analyzing, for example, in Poland from the financial sector is showing the hybrid model will be the best solution for the customers. If you are using still on-prem solution, and partially we are in the colocation, or partially we are in the cloud and multi-cloud. This doesn't matter, is the AWS or Google or Azure, and we are working with the whole landscape of the cloud providers. Then we can deliver application in each moment when you are during this migration. Example, if you are a customer and you want to migrate databases to the cloud partially, or you want to migrate the application to the cloud because your model of business is changing. You are moving your business to the application and the online selling example. Then you need to be in the cloud because it's a very elastic. Then also our solution will moving with you. Then you can protect in the on-prem side, partially when you decide to migrate to the cloud, we are going with you, and we are deliver the same level of the security still when it doesn't matter and is fully independent where the data are, and where the application is working. Then if we see the why we are, maybe not why we are successful, this is the result why we are successful. A lot of independent companies, analyzers are giving us like a leader of the 8 years. We are the leader of the Gartner Magic Quadrant. We are the leader regarding the data protection. We are the one of the recommended vendors for DDoS protection. Example, we are giving to the customer SLA, which our competitors are not doing. Then if you want to be protected by Imperva solution, then we can give you the 3-second SLA for mitigation, any size of the attack and how the attack is big and how long will takes. Then you are under protection, and we give you the guarantee your application will work. It doesn't matter how the attack is big. Then this is the why Imperva. Then as I said, holistic protection. Then across the whole landscape, when the example your customer is logging into the application, working with this application is working with data, then we can recognize who and how and when and what data is touching. Then if it's the attack, then we are protecting by example, if it's SQL injection, we are protecting by WAF. If it's some attack for the databases, we are protecting by our database solution. Strong security, Imperva was always the security vendor. We work with almost 20 years in the security market. We never moved to the different areas like servers, doesn't matter, networking. Then we are in the security, and we are focusing for security. Rapid automation. This is what is really important for the customer and partner. How fast we can develop and how fast we can implement our solution. Then it's also a huge differentiator to our competitors, because we can give you the examples, we can give you the knowledge, and we can give you the maybe not use cases, but the scenarios which you can implement in your infrastructure. Example, what I said about when the war was started, we onboard our customers, the potential customers and the organization under the attacks. It was like minutes, hours when we mitigate the DDoS attacks from the customer's network. And they stay with us, and we are still protecting them till today. We will see what will be next year, but hopefully the situation will come back to the normality. But still, what we see, the DDoS attacks levels and how big they are, how often they are, as one volume higher than before the COVID time and the war time. Then this is what we can do very fast to implement our protection by cloud, by our layer 7 DDoS protection, and of course our layer 2, layer 3. Also, we can mitigate whole landscape of the DDoS attack. Aggregate insights, the reports, when we are taking the data and reports and some metadata from our web protection part to the data protection, then we can compare and we can show you more than than example the VM can do it, because we know how the solution is working, what the users are doing. We have a modules also for application part, like attack analytics, when we are using artificial intelligence, when we are using statistic and user behavior, then we can very fast to filter the data and show you the value. Regarding the one more time application protection, you can see how big risk is dedicated to the application, how many kind of the applications still is valid, are valid to the just a second, it's something what I need. Okay. Are valid regarding the security landscape of application, then we can mitigate all of this kind of the risk and help you to develop your business. Then if we look why this is really important, more than 99 application using still open source part to implement it in application. Increase the number of vulnerabilities found in APIs. Then what, as I said, this is the one of the most important hot topic now to protect customers API. Then if we go in the future, one more time, what we can mitigate? We can mitigate the perimeter with the DDoS, secure CDN, manage the DNS. Of course, web application firewalls still valid, on-prem cloud application firewalls, API security, bot mitigation, and with advanced bot protection, of course, when we can manage the bots, not only the protect like white or black. Client-side protection, this is the part when we can help the customer to make them infrastructure a little bit secure. Runtime application, this is the model what I mentioned about the protection in application by self, exactly. And account takeover, this is what we are giving to your security when we protecting the account takeover, exactly. Then this is the maybe I will go to the one of the some statistics, more than 2,000 sensor, 2 trillion requests analyzing by month, 33 billion attack blocked by month. We have our infrastructure is here regarding the application security. We have a couple offices and a couple of the teams when working with the sun, and always someone is available in our security operations center to help the customer to understand what kind of the attack is, how to mitigate it, and how to move work very fast regarding the mitigation of the attacks. And if we look here, what is the Imperva unique and strength in depth, then you see that we have a couple of the competitors on the market. But if we look to the details, only Imperva can cover whole application protection landscape. In network case, we have a CDN, we have the DDoS network, and we have really work for DDoS. Application security, as I mentioned, Cloud WAF, on-prem WAF, bot management, RASP, analytic and insight. This is also very important to help the customer understand what is the kind of the attack, how to mitigate, what's the trigger and the vector of the attacks. Of course, API security and cloud native security. Enterprise-grade customization, integrated platform, managed services. Of course, we have also the huge chunk of the services we can deliver to the customers with our security operations center, with our support and our R&D team. then it's really very elastic cooperation between the Imperva. If you ask the guys from the Softprom how fast we can implement, example, the application protection, then they will answer you, this is the example, we can manage it in 1 day. When you comes to the us and tell us, okay guys, I have some, maybe not issue, but I have some opportunity, I'm under attack, can you help me? Then our engineers, Alex and the engineers from the Softprom side will take this lead and move forward with you to mitigate the attack and give you the knowledge, understand what was the kind of the attack, what was the type, and how to protect your infrastructure in future. Then if you have any question, then please write to me, write to guys from the Softprom, or connect to directly to our engineers to ask the technical question. This is, I think, all from my side. It wasn't the technical deep knowledge, but I want to share you the information, what landscape we have and how many areas we can help to mitigate risk in the customer organization regarding the assets, application protection, protection of the perimeter by DDoS, bot management, and data security fabric to protect your data in databases, or also the not in data and unstructured data also. Then all for me from my side. If you have any question, I'm here to help you.
Okay, thank you, Bartolome. There are no questions as I can see here. If there should arise any questions later, we will hand it over to you, or every participant can, of course, book a meeting with you in the afternoon.
Yeah, we are here to, if example in future, this is one more important things. If you're under attack, like a DDoS attack, please call to us. We have something like an emergency onboarding. We can mitigate the attack, give you the 2-3 weeks for free, this mitigation. And during this period, you will see the value of our product, and you can decide you are stay with us and continue the business way with us, or you can leave us and we will switch off our protection. But if you are under attack in future or now, then we can help you very, very fast. And I hope we will stay together in the business after this. Then, yeah.
Yeah, we all hope for the best.
A couple words from Softprom side. Thank you, Bartosz. It's really very reliable partner for us, especially in the.
Maria, I think you can switch to the Ukrainian. It will be easy to explain.
Okay, thank you. Я хотела выразить еще отдельно благодарность нашему очень надежному партнеру, который показал себя лучшим образом в этот очень трудный период перед военного времени, когда началась DDoS-война с нашими клиентами. И очень оперативно помогали нам переключить наших клиентов в считанные секунды во время атак. И это мы не можем назвать наших клиентов поименно, пока война еще продолжается, но я думаю, что позже мы сможем озвучить, как выстояли наши государственные структуры и банки благодаря поддержке Imperva. Спасибо, Bartosz.
More than welcome. We are here to help. Then we will help the Ukrainian customer till end of the war, and hopefully it will finish as soon as possible. Then we are helping, and our management decision is to help the customer in Ukraine till end of the war, even far after this period.
Да, спасибо. Да, и все, кто хочет, да, мы ждем в наших комнатах переговоров после сегодняшней презентации. Некоторое время уже заняты, но мы будем все на связи.
Okay, thank you. As Maria said, we still have some time slots left in the afternoon. The breakout rooms in the afternoon will start at 1 p.m. Kiev time. So if you want to book meetings, it's still possible. Otherwise, we will see each other hopefully tomorrow again. We will start again at 9 a.m. Kiev time. With us will be OPSWAT, VMware, and Sycope, three very interesting vendors also. And yeah, we are looking forward to see all of you tomorrow again, and wish you a good lunchtime and interesting talks in the afternoon. Thanks.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you, everyone.